Everybody, I'd like to call the Town of Waterboro's Planning Board April 15th meeting to order at 7 p.m. Previously to the meeting being here, we conducted a site walk for Tim Fox. We're going to have that as a follow-on appointment later on. We also earlier this evening we had to complete the signing of drawings for the Carpenter Estate. That's been completed before we went public. And our first order of business is Ronald Roberge, map 40, lot 6, 65 Dean Drive, East Waterboro, setback reduction, seasonal conversion, discussion vote tonight. And we have Mr. Roberge. There was a site walk conducted 2 weeks ago at the site.
Was it 2 weeks? Was it? Yes, I guess it was. Time flies when you're having fun. Good evening. At that site walk, I had a chance to talk to Judy, and I had mentioned within an inch or two, and she reminded me right to the inch, and that's from the drip line. And shortly thereafter, that's when I realized I did all my setback reductions from the foundation footprint. So I don't know if it's possible to do a 14-foot reduction to include the overhang of the building, if that creates any issues.
We got 12-inch overhangs?
Yes, or slightly less. The house is designed with a hip roof, and on that side it would have been one of the overhang.
Okay.
And I know better, but it didn't register until Judy had mentioned that drip line, and I said, oh yeah.
How close were you? Because we're already kind of squeaking that out as it is, right?
Does this apply or not?
Yes, it does apply. This is reference to Department of Environmental Protection from Maine, Chapter 1000, reconstruction or replacement of a structure, any non-conforming structure located less than the required setback from a water body, tributary stream, or wetland, in which is removed or damaged or destroyed, regardless of the cause, by more than 50% of the market value of the structure before such damage, destruction, or removal, may be reconstructed or replaced, provided that a permit is obtained within 18 months of the date of said damage, destruction, or removal, and provided that such reconstruction or replacement is in compliance with the water body. So that's a Great Pond, so that's a 100-foot setback from the Great Pond. Tributary stream or wetland setback to the greatest practical extent as determined by the planning board or its designee in accordance with the purposes of this ordinance. So it's almost two things we're talking about tonight. One is the setback from Ossipee, and the other one is the side setback. We're going to, for all intents and purposes, we're going to call that a reduction in setback. It's not a variance. Mm-hmm. For the setback, what's our side setback? What's your side setback proposed now? You're 25
right
feet.
now it was proposed to reduce it to 15 from the side property line, and I think that's what it indicates on that plan. It might have been on the I don't know which page I have it on. But those measurements were all set from the foundation.
Okay.
You can read the next sentence.
Next sentence. In no case shall a structure be reconstructed or replaced as to increase its nonconformity. So that
means to me that he can't go any closer than he already is to the sideline.
That's absolutely correct.
I mean, he's already got a non-conforming lot, and what he wants to do is make it more non-conforming. And
Yep.
according to this, that's not
That's to
permitted.
increase its non-conformity.
I wasn't at the sidewalk, so what was the area like towards the parking area? Is there...
I think, well, Ron can probably explain that. When you're staying at the back of your property, the grade, doesn't that...
The grade is
Yeah.
pretty flat in the back,
Okay.
and then once beyond the parking area, it does take a sharp rise, because at one time I suspect it was excavated long before, sometime before I owned it. purpose for going to the side was so that way we could get an egress window in that third basement bedroom.
You could still do, I mean,
to
they make
work
windows, they make wells that you can
Yes,
actually.
they do make window wells.
Where's the scale? That's 100 feet.
Oh, it's 36.
I think
Pin to pin's 101. So if you come back, so that would put the house on above the parking area.
the scale is 1 inch equals 30 feet.
And I guess, you know, from what I'm hearing from the board, there's two issues with it. One is making it more non-conforming. And what's, in the greatest extent practical, that it could be relocated. I mean, 101 feet.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, you're absolutely correct. I think she'd answer one question at a time. You know, the most practical setback from the water has being one question, and then answer Mr. Roberge's question about increasing, or he's asking to increase the setback even more. My recommendation would be not to allow that, because you're making a non-conforming property more non-conforming, and all the laws are saying you can't do that. So that's an easy thing. You know, so he's demoing the property, so now he's got a new structure, which he can do. But you have the obligation to require him to move it back to the most practical extent. And he's got the availability to move it back probably 10 feet.
And I guess my other concern would be if I move it back, what happens to my parking space?
I don't know, you create another parking space.
Uh,
The town's going to be in compliance with DEP regulations.
Yeah, I understand that.
What did you say? If it's 100, peg to peg.
It's 101 feet.
I guess do I
peg.
disturb more
So that would put it back.
vegetated area to create the parking space I lose?
This is on his property?
Yeah, I don't remember what that space looks
Well,
like.
it's still pretty much all snow
Yeah, oh, that's why I don't run
Anyway.
at that meeting, at that
Where's the
sidewalk.
septic system? Do you guys remember where the septic is now? Where's the septic system?
Right now, it's right behind the garage.
Okay.
So it's back further.
I mean, I guess
Hands are tied.
it's, you know, greatest extent practical. I mean, if we're at 100 feet, that's what the ordinance says.
Well, you don't need to require him to be 100
The
feet
full
back.
feet, yeah. But 10 feet back,
That was just a figure I pulled out of my pocket, because it seemed like a reasonable amount that he could do.
do we have an actual survey that's got elevations on it?
Well,
I don't have a topo, no.
No, it doesn't have a topo, but he has applied us with a stamped survey. Yeah,
You know, if he did move it back, it wouldn't be such a big deal for that. He'd gain on his foot on his side setback.
Yeah.
can Mr. Roberge approach you guys, so he can
Absolutely.
describe what's going on here?
Oh,
No. Let's see. Well, I was going to grab a larger one, but as back is, oh, okay. Yeah, in this area, I'd say from here on, it's pretty flat, steps out about a foot and a half to this corner. Then it's all flat back through here and along to here. Then it starts to drop back down. This area takes a sharp rise. Once we get about here, the ground starts to head back down towards the water. And my thought was with the foundation in there and being within the 36 inches of rise that you can do above the existing height would allow me to get egress windows here, and one for that third bedroom we're hoping to put in the basement with minimal impact on the contour of the the grades.
You're demoing the house, correct? It's there?
That was my intent, yes. Right now, it's a weekend warrior special, and it's a mishmash of 2x6 framing, 2x4, and sitting on posts and cinder blocks.
Classic.
Yeah, classic cottage, and
I guess
it just seemed financially to
What is this?
make sense
Maybe
to
constructed in place or permanent?
start fresh. Because the building itself really has very little dollar value, if any.
Maybe reconstructed in place.
Yeah, it actually
Maintained by the code
probably
enforcement officer with
less money to
records
demo it than
of-
would be.
Yeah, well, wall sheeting is homosote.
Which basically says that you can build where it is, but doesn't.
There won't be any
solve the
rodents in
site.
that.
Correct.
Well, the good news is, it's got a clause here that says you can rebuild it where it's at, but it's not gonna solve that extra addition you want.
Yeah, it even goes on to say that you can expand it if it's gonna make it,
Does that create a problem if we do a redesign with the well in the back? I mean, with the additional space in the back
I think-
and a window well as,
Well, no,
I think
if he did his addition here, right, okay, as long as he doesn't expand his setback.
Instead of going to the side.
Water, you'd be all right,
And
right?
he can make it more non-conforming.
I mean, is that,
But it-
And
what
if
he's
the
not-
what he's saying is
if the
to
addition
relocate
is
the,
beyond the 100-foot mark.
just so everybody's in the
Yeah.
same discussion?
Instead of on the side,
Well,
put
if
it
he
in the back.
rebuilds this part here right where it's at,
Yeah.
and he does this,
Yeah.
it's not any closer here, it's not any closer there.
What he can
Basically,
do-
he's getting more forward on his property with the addition.
Yeah, he'd have to rebuild this, he'd have to leave it and rebuild it, and that addition would be his 30% rule.
Right. Can you work with 30%?
well, that was
What do you mean
the intent all along.
Okay.
Is to be within that 30% rule.
Well-
Just my intention was to go this way.
That doesn't work though, if you're putting up a new structure, you can't get your 30% when you're putting up a new structure. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Only if you're adding to, if you're modifying or
Oh,
existing
I
structure.
just,
The 30% is for a non-conforming structure.
oh.
You know, it's a little leniency from DEP to allow old structures to be added to.
So in theory, if I understand this right, I could leave the floor there, then do a 30% increase, and then rebuild the rest?
Just like.
I know it seems kind of
Yeah,
foolish, but I've seen it done down the beach in Kennybunk, and that's the only reason why it comes to mind.
yeah.
And the Nantucket Special.
Well, I don't know, I've never been down there.
I'd have
So.
to read it a little more detailed to give you an honest answer on that.
I think
Yeah.
for the planning board's purposes, we need to look at it as two ways. You know, one is
What
the,
is this section here? Glenn?
one is the side setback and one is
Yeah,
further
one
away
of
from
them is-
the water.
If he's, you know, leaving it there and he's gonna put a foundation under it, then,
Okay.
For the board, if we look at it, if we go two ways, if we look at two parts of it, one is the side setback and one is the distance from the water. What sounds like is the consensus of the board is for a side setback, not to allow any change, any variation. Is that correct?
yeah.
All right, so,
Pretty well on top of your neighbor already. I know he's on top of you, but it's not common.
And your neighbor built out
Dude,
something along
that
that.
neighbor down the road
Going
might be.
closer to the sideline makes it more non-conforming
Well,
than
no,
it
I
already is.
understand what you're saying.
Mr. Chair,
At the same,
we have a lady trying to take a minute here, so you can't be talking on top of one another, please.
okay. I'll make a motion that we deny the request to encroach further on the sideline.
I'll have to second that, really.
If I can interrupt again, you're gonna have to specify that measurement.
It's no,
For the minutes.
we're currently, to allow, the structure's currently 25 feet from the northern side lot line. And I'll make a motion that we do not allow the addition to encroach closer to that point.
What's on the other side?
It's 29 feet to the well.
Oh, he's
Just
got
kidding.
plenty of room on the other side.
Yeah, it's like 48 feet. So I have a motion, is that okay with you for the second? I have a motion and a second, is there any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? 5-0 for the motion.
Now,
Now, so our second thing is relocation of the structure in the shoreland zone. There's two ways to look at it. One is a completely new build, which means you have the ability to be more conforming. And the other part is a demo, not demo, but an alteration and modification of the building, which means part of the structure stays.
Yeah.
Then your 30% rule kicks in.
Okay.
It sounds to me like you have the ability to move it back into the driving area. You're in a flatter area, which would make it non-conforming to the wetland. It would actually increase your beach area in front, your waterfront area. It would make it better for the lake. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm confused. Now,
It's all right, so am I.
if he tears this all down, what can be the size of his new building? You said he can't get a 30%, so does that mean that the new building,
it depends on where he puts it.
Well, Ron, you can probably step back so you
Oh, okay.
if you want to. He's had a structure there, that's his catch-all. If it was an empty lot,
yeah,
You'd have to be.
yeah,
You'd have
he'd
to
have
be
to meet all the
100 feet back.
setbacks. He wouldn't be able to get any reductions. But he's had a structure there, and DEP regulations are pretty clear. He can relocate that, but the planning board has the right to require him to move it back to the furthest practical extent. Unfortunately, they don't define that. It also says that he can't make it more non-conforming. So you've already voted not to allow a greater setback than the required 25 feet. I think that's a step in the correct direction. Does that help clarify anything, Judy?
no, because
All right.
how big a building can he build? You say that, does it have to be the same size, same number of square feet as he already has there? Oh,
It
okay,
does,
with no 30%,
correct.
okay.
If he tears it down.
So if I don't tear it down, I could raise it, put a foundation under it in theory, and get a 30%
Yep,
expansion in the
Correct.
back,
yep.
If you
and then
that.
a year or two later, come back, do a remodel?
No,
No?
30% is a one lifetime.
No, I didn't mean by expanding it, but I mean remodel the old building.
This is A&R.
Make the stairs, whatever needs to be done to it.
Yeah.
35 feet.
we
I'm
always.
not the chair, so.
Oh.
Okay, Judy?
No, feel free to answer the question.
Whenever anybody's put a foundation under a building, we have also had site walks to see if they could move it back. That still went with the putting a foundation under a building.
I mean, I know I've seen last summer, while cruising on the lake, that where they had put in a foundation in I don't know if I want to call it the Narrows, where the lake where you transition from the large section of the lake to the small area. They had put in a foundation on the existing camp. I didn't stop by to see whether it was,
Actually, we've done.
that was within the,
Yeah, we have, but part of
Different.
doing that is while they have it up to see if they can move it back. And a lot of those people had a well right there that they couldn't go over, or a septic system that they couldn't go over, and it was deemed that right where it was the best place for the building.
Yeah, and the planning board can make that call.
And I would think that would be the same call for this.
So we're looking at another site walk.
Well, I don't know. It depends what he wants to do. I mean, I was under the impression at that site walk that you were going to demolish the building and start
that was
again.
my initial intent, based on a cost factor. And understanding rules as I did understand them. That being said, if the rules don't allow me to do that, then I need to re-examine what I'm going to do with that building. as to whether we just raise it, put a foundation under it, and make the repairs needed to make it a little, a year-round structure.
Maybe reconstructed in place if a permit is obtained from the code enforcement officer within 1 year. That's the section we just did. All right. Glenn, where does it say that he has to move it?
Just the planning board shall, the water, to the greatest practical extent as determined.
It's up to us to make the decision if it's practical for him to move the building back or not. At least that's the way we've always worked before.
Yeah, that is correct.
Whenever anybody has put a foundation under a camp, we have always had a site walk to go out and see if at that time it would be practical to move the building back. And usually it hasn't been because there's something right there that
Bounding it in.
made it.
Well, I think the site walk we have seen, and Mr. Roberge's plan clearly shows that he is able to move the structure back.
Is Bound Meadow, is that considered part of Ossipee Pond?
I have no clue.
Is it tied to it, or is it just a shallow?
Yes, it is. It is. When the lake is up to its summer height, I guess for lack of a better way of describing it, the water does go, it does tie to it.
So that would mean there's a 100-foot setback on that side, too, on the south boundary line there, too.
That, probably true then,
Which puts you,
which it doesn't meet that 100 foot.
no.
No. I don't think any of the structures on that site meet the 100-foot setback in.
Even if under the foundation, it goes right back to greatest practical extent determined by the board. When did this,
I mean, you're left with.
what's the date of this, Glenn?
January 15, 2015, newly updated. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
If this was a brand new structure going in, using based off your setback from the lake, setback from Bound Pond, basically the only building envelope you have is right where it says total area building reconstruction. That's where a new building would be, which is way above your leach bed,
Oh, way in the back.
way up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's deed restricted. No building, and I think it shows, and I think on that plan, if I may step forward,
Yes.
it shows
It's the dash line going through.
this line right there, which shows the garage within 2 feet of this building restriction area.
So you're left with this little triangle right there.
Yeah, and that's actually right behind the garage. That grade shoots up probably about 7 feet.
So what's this area here?
Yeah, there's
This is all flat. Right in this area is flat. Right along here is
Are you
flat.
opposed to moving building here?
No, it just becomes a question of where I put my parking space.
You could bring it. Yeah, I mean, you
Do
could
I
come.
tear up? Well, that's the patio there. That's where the well is.
Yeah, there's a brick retaining wall, right?
Falls in.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's about a 7 or 8 foot drop from that wall.
I mean, is there room? If you came 12 feet over from that.
I guess where do you usually park on this road here?
Right in that area. We'll line 2-3 cars across there.
Well, the good news is you could be right there and walk right to your garage without getting out in the weather.
Actually, if you look at it as, say, even if you allow 20 feet off the garage,
There's 40-something feet between the two of them, I think.
that's a parking area that gets in there. The house then,
Right now, my septic tank is right there.
so it'd be within 10 feet of the septic.
That's,
You could easily get
but
the
that would
house
get,
into that.
we could get all relocated, because
You're looking at this area here, which would actually give you a long, wider side setback too. Unfortunately, I think maybe you should have to rethink it.
okay.
What's from the board, Lee? What's your thoughts on it?
Instead of knock it down, start all over again, he's gonna be back into conformity. You know, if he was gonna do a remodel, yeah, putting the piece on the back wouldn't be so bad. But if you knock the whole thing down, you know.
Then it's starting a new structure, so it
Right.
sounds like I can't go down with knocking a new structure. So I have to do the remodel and a 30% expansion.
Well, that
And
one-
move it,
The one on West Shore Road that they just knocked down.
Most of the thirty
Did we
percent
didn't
expansion.
make them go back, did we?
Yeah,
Did we?
we made them go back to make them more conform to that sideline.
yeah, we moved it over,
We've done a lot.
reconfigured it, turned it like an eighth or whatever.
I mean, it sounds like we could.
1/8?
Well, we turned the building an eighth, so we would get the full 20 feet off
I
the sideline.
Looking at what we're talking about here, I think the building could be reconstructed, 30 feet further, 30 feet further back from the lake, which would make you almost twice as conforming as you are right now. It'd be on an area that wouldn't be that impractical to build.
All right.
It would create problems trying to get the egress.
But like they do window well, you can do a window
Well, I'd
well,
have to do 3 of them really, in reality.
but they make a fiberglass tub.
Oh yes, they do. I've installed them,
Okay.
and they're no fun.
As long as you.
But
You
that
get-
being said,
So we're talking-
they get easier with every time you do them.
The good news is, since you're so close to grade, you get a little bit smaller window you can use for egress. You don't have to be at 5.7.
Oh yeah, drop down to 5.0, huh?
Yeah. Judy, what's your thoughts on it?
I'll get out of the way.
Well, I guess he should go back if it's practical, if he's gonna build again.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to be repairing.
But even then, if you're gonna repair, if you're putting a foundation under it,
Oh yes,
it's the
yes.
same. It's the same thing. Because you could, at that point, it's up. It could be moved when it's up.
Yes.
That's what we've
Katie?
done before.
What's your thoughts on it?
I agree with Judy, and
I think. I mean, from what I'm hearing from the board is, I think you could. I feel that you can move the building back further from the lake. You could still get your new construction in. You don't have to. We're not going to require you to go back the full 100 feet because now you're outside your deeded building area.
Yeah.
But the building could be relocated further back from the water line. And whether it's 20 feet or 30 feet back, further back than it is right now, I guess that's semantics right now.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess. Won't argue that one.
So, I guess the question's back to you. We could make a decision tonight to say, you're going to be X feet further back from the lake, or
From its existing position.
Glenn?
I wouldn't recommend that, Mr. Chair. You should see an amended site plan before you decide, before you make any vote.
Okay, thank you.
We can hold, that's fine, we can hold all his permits open though, right?
Pardon me?
We can hold his permits open, let Mr.
Oh, sure.
Roberge go, make a new plan, and, it's charged, you wanna go home and give us a think and see what you can bring back to us that makes it,
Okay, I think that sounds more than fair.
do another shot. Glad to hear from you.
Okay.
I think your other thought is by moving it, if you move it back and you twist it so you can get your side, the addition going back, you can still get your foundation under it, which allows you to get,
Is that
not as deep with your
still
egress
there?
windows and stuff like that.
Yeah. Good enough.
But that's where it is.
Sorry about that, but that's,
Remember you
That's what, life?
January 15th.
January, yeah.
Yeah, I dragged my feet too long.
Mr. Chair, you're gonna make a motion to table this?
I'm making a motion that we table the Roberge setback reduction to
New
you
site
can provide a
plan.
new site plan.
You planned to, when I planned the brought.
Is there a second on that?
in a second.
Judy seconds it. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? So be it. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Board, sorry.
All right, Dollar General.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah, you need to recluse yourself, please.
Travis.
You're not Travis. Ooh, new face.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. My name is Lee Allen with Northeast Civil Solutions. I'm joined tonight with Travis Atelier. We've worked together on this project from the beginning. We're here tonight seeking approval for a site plan amendment. This is a different looking site plan than what you had seen prior to tonight. We ran into a roadblock with the DOT not granting a permit for an exit driveway onto Route 5. The past week we've been scrambling. We've revised the site plan. Our traffic engineer met with Mr. Foglio. They sat down, they came up with a design that has been reviewed by Goral Palmer, the peer review consultant. They have, as of yesterday, approved this design without any more comment. And what I'll do is I'll walk you through kind of what the changes were. We eliminated the access drive onto Route 5. We added a driveway for truck exits to the far back portion of the site. We shifted the building to the west, 30 feet. We added a 10-foot fire lane that runs adjacent to that drive and extends the length of the building to the northerly side of the building up against the property line. The design allows for tractor trailers to pull in to the site, back into the loading dock, and then pull back out onto Chadbourne Ridge Road, and it's far enough back that there is no interference with the queue, and that truck gets fully over to the far side of the road without blocking the lane going northerly on Chadbourne Ridge Road. You'll also notice that we widened that radius as you make the turn from Route 5 onto Chadbourne Ridge Road. There's a paved 10-foot shoulder that has some striping through it to keep the passenger cars in the correct lane. That striping area is to allow tractor trailers that room to swing out into that without getting into the oncoming lane. I believe Mr. Foglio is here tonight, and he should be able to speak to this, that we did indeed meet with him. He hasn't provided a letter, anything in writing as far as I know. We're seeking his 100% support of this design, as he was involved with Mr. Bray in such. Also want to note that with these changes, we are going back to the DEP with this site plan. They're aware of it. It's probably another couple weeks before they return an approval. The pond sizing is all this, everything is all working, but it's just another part of that. And I think in previous approvals, that's been a condition. With that, I'm more than happy to turn it over to the board and Mr. Foglio.
Doug, are you available? Are you to comment on it? You're 100% with this on this new design?
Yes, the only comment that I have on this is the well. The well that was shown on the original plan now becomes part of the road. And I requested that the well be concreted.
You mean the
Oh, the old
abandoned
well? Oh,
You
yeah.
don't mean their well? Oh.
That was actually
It's
a-
gonna fill it with sand. We don't want it filled with sand. It's common practice. You can't compact sand in a 6-inch pipe, so flowable concrete.
Okay, yeah.
And it says on the plans, you'll notice, it says that they're gonna cut the road pipe down. They're like it in the approvals that they're gonna remove all the stones around it. They're gonna cut the 6-inch casing down at least 6 feet below the paved area and fill the hole after they remove all the stone, fill it up with the same material that's in there up to base grade and compact it.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you leave a 6-inch well there with water in it, that water will always try to come up. Every time something goes over, it causes a pumping action and causes the sand to be soft. But
If they grout it, that's
they pour
sufficient.
flowable concrete down there,
Okay.
or regular concrete.
Is that their land?
What's that?
I thought that was is it the state land or?
Well, part of this is in the state right away. That well is actually in the town right away.
Yeah.
But they're using it to travel over it.
What's that?
They'll be traveling over that well.
They'll be
The old
traveling
well.
over that well.
Okay.
If you look, there's a plan that shows that well, and it comes in the radius of the new widening of the intersection. But as far as the intersection improvements and the, I don't know, Ty to see if you're laying down. But if you go to the plan, what sheet is that now? We're looking at 5 or 13. You'll notice that you'll see where the hash marks are. You follow a tractor trailer right around here. That tractor trailer now will lead 2 exit lanes out of Chadwick's Ridge. A right, go across the Clark's Bridge, and a left turn lane. The right turn lane, the tractor trailers will stay in their own lane. They'll pull right in, that right-hand arrow going in. They'll bear left, and then they'll pull up. And by moving the building 30 feet to the right, they're able to pull up behind all the cars that are parked, pull up. They may have to pull out into Chadman's Ridge Road, but when they do, they'll be sitting at a 90-degree angle to it.
Okay.
So they can get good sight distance. If there's anything coming, pull out and back up to their loading docks. And as they've stated many times, there's only one W67 truck a week that's supposed to be going there. This plan right here, in the past they've talked about limited deliveries and all of that. This plan right here allows for free flow, no restrictions on deliveries, because there will be other trucks coming in and out of there and other tractor trailers. They have on their signage that says truck exit only. So everything that the engineers that we talked to, and I met out there last Friday with Bill Bray, and we went over this whole thing, and you know, this is a very acceptable design.
Okay. And also with Chief Boers, what he was talking about for emergency vehicles coming in.
Well,
vehicles
that's why
later.
we was out there. You see that they moved the dumpster over and put a fence around it. This leaves you'll notice it says heavy-duty pavement all the way to the rear of the building, which takes care of all of Matt's issues. He can now get around 3 sides of this building, and you know, right now you're looking at what is a nice design.
Okay.
It works good. There is you notice that quilly quill there, whatever you want to call it, that raises, if you look at the detail, I believe that raises pavement an inch to kind of try to stop cars from going out that way.
Okay.
But a tractor trailer can pull out of that entrance, and there's room for at least 4 vehicles to set at the intersection in each lane, and it can still pull out and right itself in its own lane.
I think it's a way better intersection than was originally proposed.
So, I think Mr. Gray, once you get out there and figures it all out, this is what you come up with. And like I say, the only issue I have, I'd like to see it noted that they have to fill the well in with concrete and remove all the rocks. And after you approve the plan, or whatever you have to do, after the plan is approved by the planning board, I will issue a driveway entrance permit for 2 driveways.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
Lee, you good?
You did.
What's,
Anybody see anything they'd like to have changed?
what is this?
Just that raised, 1-inch raised
Is
hump in the road.
What's that?
that triangle thing?
It's
Is
in
it,
that
is it
hatched
up?
area.
Yeah, the hatch
Oh,
area.
that's your slash marks, right? Are you gonna,
The triangles on the plan with the numbers in them indicate to,
No, in the
Oh,
road,
this-
where
this-
Oh.
the road,
oh, that's, when you come to,
Is it
we add a
raised?
lane, it's to shift the traffic over,
but
so
is
they
it
get
raised
over.
up?
No, it isn't, it's just
Okay.
striping.
Oh, it's just, okay.
Okay,
it's
good.
hash
All
marks
right.
across the
Yeah.
road.
So
Like
where's the
those
1-inch
brick
section
things.
that you were talking about?
It's that,
5-3. You know, 513 is right here.
Oh, okay, all right.
See this right here? Go to 513 if you would, please.
Just to keep that.
And what it
I was
is,
thinking it was this.
yeah,
This is
what
right.
it is more than anything, it's just kind of a visual cue to keep passenger cars from not using that entrance, that they go down and use the actual asphalt
This is,
entrance.
Okay.
a truck comes around this corner, can stay here, it doesn't get into either one of these two lanes, pulls in here, pulls around like this, pulls up over this 1-inch lip, and pulls out and then backs up to this door. It'll be in this lane here a little bit, but when he gets out here, the tractor part of it is able to see in both directions. When they pull out here, they're taking care of the stacking problem that I was talking about, or the queue as they refer to it. And there can be a minimum of 4 vehicles. 4 vehicles, is that right, what Bill had estimated?
Yeah, I think two in each lane, and that is clearly way over. I think even with more in there, it would be out of the way, but definitely with 2 is way out of the
But
way.
the biggest truck that'll come in there can pull out like this, and it gets straightened up if there's still vehicles sitting in the intersection, so it isn't blocking anything.
I guess I'll address the monkey in the room right now. For public hearing on this, where this is actually an approved drawing, it's a safer drawing. I don't feel that we need to go to another public hearing on this. Is that a consensus of the board?
Yeah.
Okay. Glenn?
Before you pass judgment,
Okay.
I have a couple of issues.
Okay.
The septic plan, SFWD, is not the plan that was in the original plan that I've seen. They show a forced main feeding a field, and the original plan is not that way.
Was it gravity feed?
Yeah, it's a regular septic field. The other thing, they have a statement on all the pages that says this plan is for review purposes only, and is not intended for construction or recording. I have a little bit of a problem with that. The other thing is, I've had 10 minutes to look at this. I don't know if it's identical to the plan that the planning board has reviewed already. In reference to the parking spaces, the location of the store. You know, Doug is happy with the highway. That's not my jurisdiction, that's his. He's happy with that. But, you know, with the septic plan completely different than the original plan, I have to wonder what else is different from the original plan. But like I said, I haven't had a chance to review that, so I'm going to recommend that you don't make a decision tonight
Okay.
until I have a chance to make sure there's no other changes on the plan. In the statement, if the plan is not met for construction, then where is the plan that is made for construction?
You guys want to address that?
Absolutely. With the number of iterations of plans, you can imagine that we always have that note on until we get an approval, and then we issue a construction set of drawings, which we would definitely copy the town on. But it's more of a safety mechanism for us to make sure we don't get the wrong set of plans out there in the contractor's hands and he starts building up the wrong ones. Believe it or not, it's happened more than once.
I agree, though. I think I've never seen this on a plan that's come to us,
It's been on all of our plans.
but I don't remember seeing it on the first set that we had.
It could have been, I don't remember seeing it.
Typically what happens, we'll issue, once we get an approval, we issue a set of plans back to you, and then that becomes the official set of drawings that's used for construction and for the town.
I mean, I like what you've done. I like the fact that you guys worked with the town and come up with a lot better, traffic pattern than what was originally proposed. And then, I mean, that's 100% between you and Doug working that out. I mean, you guys both have worked really well in getting that to be a better pattern. I'm agreeing to that, but I also agree with our code enforcement officer that we need to have a review of it before a decision's rendered on it. Is there anybody?
You can set a plan, David. 13, right?
Mhm.
There it is.
Okay. So, okay. It is wrong. All right, my bad.
I guess, Mr. Chair, I don't want these guys to come back again. I guess I would be comfortable with a statement from Dollar General that says, and it's certified, that the plan that they submit finally, that doesn't have the statement on it, is identical to this plan. I'm thinking I'd be okay with that. I'm not hesitant, but.
I guess my concern then is what happens if you do, I mean, besides, you found the septic already, what happens if there's anything else you've seen today that wasn't on the original one that we saw, 6 weeks ago?
Right.
What's the town's out on it then?
Well, if you approve this tonight, you're approving the plan that's in front of you. Dollar General submits, a plan that doesn't have the statement, and for some reason there's a change on it that no one catches, and it's out in the field being used by the construction outfit, and I go up to them and say, hey, this isn't on our plan, they're gonna say, it's on ours.
I would have no problem if you made a condition that you hold that set with the other set and you can compare it to the previous set. All that changed on this plan was we took out the driveway, there's culverts under that driveway that came with it when we took it out. All the grading for the pond has remained the same.
How do you explain the septic system?
The leach field itself has remained the same, in the same location.
The forced main wasn't on the original plan.
I can,
Yep, I can address that. Travis Letelier, NCS. It was a coordination effort between the building architects. I was under the impression that the bathrooms were on the right-hand side of the building with the initial plans, which would have allowed gravity feed into a tank and then to the field. But unfortunately, the bathrooms are on the left-hand side of the building, and it just is too far of a run to do a gravity feed all the way to the septic.
I don't know, I just got a fuzzy feeling. I want to hear what Doug has to say also.
Okay. Doug?
Well, we have, in the past years, ran into this problem before. And we have conditionally approved a plan with a condition that the code enforcement officer review the plan and sign off, and at that point it becomes final. And gave the people a certain amount of time to have a satisfactory set of plans, and if they didn't, then it is non-existent, okay? That's what we did. We gave conditional approval and listed the conditions that we wanted for the conditional use. In this case, I hear that the septic system realignment is an issue. And just to add 2 cents to it, I didn't see on there where it said it was an H20 septic tank, but it might have been. But, if you did that, that's what we've done in the past. We've issued a conditional use where you can take a member of the planning board and the code enforcement officer and say, we're going to give you 14 days to bring this plan up to our approval, and then he signs a letter to the board saying, he agrees with everything, and then it becomes final.
I like that.
Okay.
we agree. That's standard. We do that in a lot of towns. So.
Okay. Katie, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Judy? Liz? All right. We have a couple other things. Like you mentioned, the DEP approval is still pending, so that, obviously it's going to be conditional upon the DEP approval. We have Doug's compliance with the fact that the well will be cut down, stone removed.
Yep. The work they're doing within the state DOT right away, does that need to be approved by MDOT?
That's why I
It
asked
has
the
been.
question.
It has been?
DOT has verbally approved this, okay?
Should we have something in writing?
We will have something in writing.
Okay.
I have one more issue before I leave.
Yes, sir.
Some of the work that's going to be done is on Dollar General's property. We need to get a deed from Dollar General to the town of Waterboro, or else we'll be encroaching on their property. Does everybody understand that?
Absolutely.
We'd like to have, a survey a map of this, it could be recorded, and show us at least 3 feet more than where the pavement area is,
Okay, thank you, that's a good point.
okay?
We're showing gravel 3 feet beyond the pavement. Do you want 3 feet from the gravel?
I would think so we can maintain it.
Yep.
And you should be able to get that along with everything else to Glenn, and he and I can look it over, but that's gonna be, it's gonna be a deed to us, and it'll be, signed and sealed and be all set.
Yep.
You all done with me?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Is there, I mean, the board's all, so we basically have 4 conditions that would, or 5 conditions would go with approval tonight. The well
Yep.
being removed.
Yep.
Filled up with it's cut down 6 feet, stones removed, 6 feet of casings removed, flowable concrete's added. Obviously, it depends on DEP approval. MDOT letter. And a deed to the town for the part of the town land. And then the final part will be conditional approval that the code enforcement officer concurs that these plans are in compliance with the town ordinances.
I got one more.
Okay.
Well, I would get it with a building permit anyway, but I need a new HHE 200.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you could ask the secretary if she got all of that before you,
Barb will be the scrivener.
yeah.
You don't want to read my notes. I do believe I have it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Is the board agreeable to what that is? Okay. Actually, I think it's a better plan. I mean, it may not be what the original DG wanted, but I think it's better for the town. It will work for DG. It definitely improves that intersection. I know it's been a long process, and I apologize for that, but I think in the end, I think it's
I agree. It's something everybody can look back on and say, we're okay with this. It isn't creating a problem out there.
it's definitely made the town think too about some other stuff that's happening. So I just think you guys broke the well. I'll make a motion. We approve the plans as submitted tonight. We have one other exception on it, that the final set of plans needs to not have the writing on it.
Yep.
Do I need to go through the 6 exceptions? Okay. With the 6 exceptions that we had noted.
Now, didn't we, original, Roberge is supposed to get a little bit of money to keep the lights out of the driveway?
Yeah, that's still, with our original ones, we had the original $2,500. That was agreement between the, that's still
everything that was previously approved is still good.
Okay.
This is amending on top.
You're just adding to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the original one we said just fill and cap the well, but now that you're traveling over,
Right, more,
it's a different.
Yep.
Okay, so board, I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. 1 abstention. Sorry. All right, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Timothy Fox, as I mentioned earlier.
Wake up, Ron.
Yeah, you can unrecluse yourself. Early this evening, we met with Timothy Fox, who's proposing a new business on corner of Route 202 and roughly near Old Alfred Road. We did the site walk. It's actually a pretty nice wooded lot. There is a high dry section and a low wet section that would not be part of it. And I assume that you're going to be the speaker tonight. That's right. Thanks. It's not even, I was hoping it wasn't even me. It's one of the mics. So the site was marked out there. We had all the flags. So center of the driveway, front of the building, front corners of the building, rear corner of the building. As you walk the site, the applicant's proposing to put a privacy fence going down along the side facing a neighbor. Is the neighbor here tonight? No? Okay. Are you representing the neighbor? No? Okay. So, it, the portion of the site would be paved. It's intended to be traveled upon, cars parked on that'll be paved. The sections tended to be like fire lane stuff, will be gravel. Well, that's about all I've got on it. Building is going to be a metal building. The town does not have an appearance ordinance, so I mean, the applicant has submitted light plans to us, and I mean, he's going to try to make the building look as nice as physically possible.
There is going to be a wooden office building out front to break that up. You missed the last meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that helps that, breaks
Yeah.
that.
Actually, that was on the plan that we.
The bump out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So we have discussion about
There's some waivers.
the waiver for MDOT driveway, performance bond waiver, topo survey, nitrate study. What was the state of Maine licenses?
I don't know.
The state of Maine license is to make sure that he's taken and applied to the state of Maine for his recycling license.
Thank you, Ken.
Oh, okay.
And I included a copy, the recorded copy of the MDOT driveway permit waiver determination for your review. It was recorded at the York County Registry of Deeds. There is a copy of it in your packet. The only difference on it is a little stamp at the very top from York County. It lists what date and page it was.
Oh, just that it was filed.
Right.
Okay.
That's the only difference on it, than the one you had seen before.
So that's basically
That one's taken care
care
of.
of, yeah, okay.
So you've got the three other waivers, the performance bond, the topographic survey, and the nitrate study. They need to take and work on tonight.
I'd like to take them one by one as we work down through the list. Performance bond waiver, is there any discussion from the board about whether that should be granted or not? I guess I look at it as it's 100% internal to the site, doesn't affect the town. I don't see it as a,
It's a minor scale project. Typically, the performance bonds that have been, like a Hannaford's or something like that, where there's both off-site and on-site improvements. This is such
100%.
a minor internal 1 acre site, small scale, small scope. Not really applicable to this type of project. But it's in the ordinance, so you have to grant a waiver on it.
I agree, because it's not, we're not adding turning lanes, we're not changing public access or anything like that. Is the board agreeable to that?
Yeah, the only thing I can see is there's a lot of site work to do. If they get in there and decide they're gonna quit and leave a mess, but I don't think that would really be a problem.
It's just a minor cut and fill operation.
There's going to be a lot of cut and
A
fill.
lot of credit.
But I mean, given it's
Is
only
there a
on,
ledge in there?
it's on 1 acre,
Yeah.
so you're dealing with 200
Some
by
of
200
those rock
foot site.
stickers there look.
I think they're boulders.
Could be just boogers sitting on the
Yeah.
top.
Any recommendations?
I don't think a performance bond is required.
All right.
All right, is there everybody want to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion that we give the waiver on the performance bond.
A second? 80 seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, so performance bond passes 5-0. Performance bond waiver passes. Topographical survey, that's required by our site plan ordinance, Article 1, Section E8. I guess my issue on the site plan is the topo is, it's going to be a cut and fill. So what's there now will not be there when we're done.
Correct.
The applicant has provided, you've provided a topo of a completion. Well, topo of this developed area completion.
Yes, I've given design contours on the plan. And even though I'm not looking at the current one, there are specific elevations called out for like the inlet structures for the stormwater containment area. And there's an elevation called out for the gravel parking area that parallels the long portion of the building out the back. The whole intent is to grade it to the stormwater containment area toward the back, to eliminating the stormwater going down toward the wetland, except for what falls in the slope itself.
Tom?
A reasonable compromise on this would be, given that it's 15 acres and there's just a little over 1 acre disturbed, Steve has already prepared the pre-topographic conditions. It would be reasonable to accept this waiver, but to have a post-construction topographic lay of the land. That way it'll be helpful too when Glenn's looking at the site. And it'll also be helpful for the contractor.
I think we have a proposed.
Yeah, the proposed contours are on here.
The contours and the spot elevations, but after all is said and done, typically you would have a post-construction topographic, particularly if you're going to wait.
Those are the.
You mean an as-built survey?
Yeah, or as-built, be referred to as an as-built. And that would be really helpful for Glenn's office and also for the files, given that you're waiving 14 acres. Reasonable compromise.
Yeah.
What's the board's feelings on that?
Yeah, why don't you get a set of as-bills at the end, so we actually know that, you said you're gonna put it at 14.2, it's still at 14.2.
Right, isn't that part of the requirements, is to do an as-built?
It has been, but the town has not, in the past, how shall we say it, fall through on it.
We do now.
Well, it's a good thing. It's in the ordinance.
It's a new Waterboro.
Is that new? Are you okay with that?
I'm fine.
Judy? Katie? Okay. Make a motion that we waive the topographical survey of the pre-existing conditions in the event, because of the cut and fill being proposed, and that basically because of that, we're going to ask for a submitted as-built.
Right. The reason that I requested the topographic survey waiver is because I believe the ordinance says that you need topographic information on the entire lot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I
we're
want to make sure you're clear on that. That's really what we're trying to
We're looking
waive.
for the developed area, a post-survey,
Yeah.
an as-built of the developed area.
Yeah.
All right. Motion, is there a second on that?
I'll second that.
Lee seconds. Is there any discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Nitrate study. I guess my thoughts on the nitrate study is it's basically a it's a shop's bathroom. I mean, it's going to have less going into it than a house will put in.
Yeah.
Right.
Glenn, recommendation?
Waive it.
Thank you.
Lee?
I don't see a need for it.
Okay. Wayne?
I'm good.
Judy? Katie? All right.
I'll
So
make a motion that we waive the nitrate study.
I have a motion. Is there a second? I have a motion, a second. No, any further discussion? All those in favor? All right, so that takes care of our waivers. One of the conditions that was put on here was that you get to the town, all your licensing, you know, the requirements and stuff like that for your state you know, when you need for your everything to operate your business, the town has a copy of all those. Schedule of construction. That's just more of an internal to us. I don't think that should be a condition.
There's an email in your packet from Steve. It's addressed to me.
It's supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah, no, today.
Supposed to start clearing work on
Clearly
today.
today.
You still expect to be done by the 31st August? Is that still feasible?
I might need to extend it. I do August. I'm leaving for 3 months for cross training in the military. That wasn't scheduled until recently.
Is there going to be any work going on in your lot while you're done?
While I'm down there?
Yeah, while you're gone out of town, will there be any
There
work?
might be some. Yeah, well, me and my father are going to be.
Kind of extension?
I mean, it's not part of our.
Not cut and dry.
You have a 1-year building permit,
Yeah.
and then it could be extended beyond that as long as it's active construction, correct?
That's correct.
There we go.
So, I mean, it's just interesting. I'm glad to see you jump on it
Interest, yeah.
Well,
instead of having it sit forever.
apparently you got till April 15, 2016.
Well, once it pulls a permit.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Oops, Katie. Let's just wait for Katie to come back.
Let's see, an email from Tom asked for clarity on the type and surface of fencing. Did we talk about that, or?
No, we did not. It just says privacy fencing on the drawing.
Yeah, I think.
No,
Tom-
I changed it.
Oh, you did a stockade fence or something?
Yeah,
like
I
that?
changed it to stockade fence.
Okay.
Is that on the latest drawing that we have?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I guess the only issue I have is stockade fence don't take too long before they look like they need
That's
maintenance.
why, yeah.
So I think a condition should be put on that it's maintain the life of the property. You know, if they start falling down, someone has to go back there and stand it up. If someone starts to paint it, then the painting needs to be done
All the way.
all the way. Like Tom said, the butters are close.
And,
The appearance is gonna be decent.
and the building, the butters are where the building is, so
Yeah.
they're back.
Back to that part.
Did you have any more questions, Tom?
No. Just that point. Thanks for that.
I'm just, oh, you're back, okay. The question was brought up about the fencing, just maintaining the fencing. I'll make a motion that we approve the Fox's application for map 4 lot 37-4, used auto sales and repair, with the conditions that we have a recorded copy of the MDOT. We've granted waivers for performance bonds, topographical surveys, nitrate studies. The applicant will provide their licensing to the town, and that the privacy fence is maintained while the building is under, use, continually use.
I have a question. What's gonna happen with the excess oil and stuff he drains out of the cars?
I was planning on putting a waste oil heater
Okay.
to heat with it.
Burn.
Yep, okay.
That's inside, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's not
No.
safe.
I have a motion, is there a second?
I second.
Second, I have a motion, and a second. Is there any further discussion?
You said something about waste oil line here.
I just
I just asked if he, where he was doing with all the waste oil and antifreeze and everything, and he said he's gonna burn it.
the waste oil.
Waste oil.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't hear you. You're a long ways away in Great Falls.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? 5-0, motion passes.
Thanks.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you sometime.
All right.
We even have a plan,
The building.
building plan, yeah. Not without a building permit.
Could I,
Correct.
we're going to keep moving on with the meeting, sorry. Section 208 is, in case anybody has never heard us before, Section 208 is in the town ordinance. It's a condition in the ordinance that the planning board may grant a reduction in setback for lots that are non-conforming lots. We do have a communication from the town attorney, a recent communication from the town attorney, clarifying our thoughts on this. And basically it's from our attorney. It says, the town's been told on a few occasions that Section 208 is in direct conflict with court cases that have held that the only way a setback requirement can be changed is through the granting of a variance by a zoning board of appeals in compliance with requirements of 30-AM RSA Section 4353. She further goes on to say that she couldn't defend. She didn't say that she couldn't defend us, but it did say that the ordinance as it currently exists would most certainly be found by court to be invalid, since it authorizes the planning board to reduce setbacks. MRSA actually says that any change in a dimension must be done by a ZBA. We can call it a reduction. We can call it whatever. It's still a variance. And there's actually a definition of variance which says any change in dimension. So Glenn has proposed a modification to Section 208, which basically removes variances from the planning board and makes the change to it saying variances may be granted only from dimensional requirements, including but not limited to lot size, lot frontage, structure height, lot coverage, and setback requirements by submitting an application to the Zoning Board of Appeals. A variance granted may be only the minimum that will make possible the reasonable use of the land or structure, although no more than 15% of the requirements. It is the responsibility of the property owner, the representative of the property owner, to see that all setbacks meet the municipal and state requirements. Setbacks from wetlands or setbacks in shoreland cannot be reduced by the ZBA. This will go into effect. Lots created before the enactment of the Waterboro Zoning Board dated March 12, 1977. That date was added. That are legal, non-conforming, are required to have a standard boundary survey performed before a building permit can be issued. Notwithstanding Notwithstanding any other provision of municipal or state law or regulation, any legal non-conforming lot of record may be used to construct a primary use provided said lot meets the requirements of MRSA 12, Section 4807, which requires at least 20,000 square feet for a subsurface waste disposal system. So, this is what's proposed to us tonight. There's been several versions of Section 208 proposals that have come out. We looked at one a month ago. The planning board reviewed it, didn't felt that it adequately protected the town based on the town attorney's recommendation. And so this new proposal tonight is a response to that original proposed Section 208. Dwayne?
Since these guidelines are more restricted than what we had before, and since we're going to turn this over to ZBA, before we move forward, I want to hear what ZBA has to say about this. Let's get some input from them, because they're the ones that are going to have to deal with this after.
Okay.
Can we get, somebody invited to a meeting to represent the ZBA and see what they think on this before we vote?
Okay.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Chair, you can't do any voting or anything. You have a public hearing scheduled for March 6th at 7 p.m.
I think what we need to do tonight is make sure the wording in this is what we need to get to the public.
Yep, and that's what will be put on the website.
Okay, and I think we should check with ZBA before we do anything else. Let's hear what because they're going to end up dealing with this when it's all said and done, so why don't we get them in now? Let's see what the consensus is.
They could come to the public hearing on May 6th. I can attempt to get a hold of them. I only have 2 email addresses.
My thing is, if they're going to come to the public hearing and then they don't like this, or maybe they can, this is their job. So my thinking is, let's get out in front before we go to a public hearing. Shouldn't we all be on board, heading in the same direction? We're turning it from one committee over to another committee. Since this is gonna end up in their laps,
I
I
don't,
don't see why we should ask them.
I don't see this as being any different than what they already do.
Well, it's the
I mean,
15% we've
that's what
changed
they
up.
already do, right?
Well,
That's in the,
That's, I think, all they can do.
that's
for
all they can do,
the law
right?
anyway.
right.
Yeah.
The question is the 15% though. That's the question I've got. Is that, right now our ordinance, although I couldn't find it the other day. We've always gone to 10 feet.
Yeah, it's
We've been
not
doing
in
that right
there.
for 4 years.
But we've done it.
Just out of curiosity, what happened to the proposal that actually came before the selectmen that was a reduction in this, automatic reduction in the setback if it was a legal non-conforming lot?
Previously 77.
To me, that made a lot of sense. It just keeps everybody out of the,
Agreed.
and you don't get into a contest at the ZBA to say, well, I need 18%. And it's a hardship if I don't, because you don't give the ZBA has no flexibility. It's either 15% or less, or they don't get a variance.
That's right.
Whereas the planning board over the years has used the flexibility to go to 10 feet. And the proposal, I thought, a few months ago that came before the board was to just automatically change those setbacks and put that, and I thought Natalie approved it.
No, that was, it didn't automatically change the set.
The one that the Board of Selectmen received,
Yeah.
when you went to public hearing, Doug requested that it be tabled for more research to be done on it
Yeah.
because of those automatic setbacks.
Yeah.
Went back to Natalie, she came back with another version.
So she changed her mind, or we changed it by
Well,
the way that we asked the question?
I don't know, sir. That,
I like your thinking.
Well, I mean, that happens. I mean,
yeah,
if that was defensible, then,
yeah, I mean, she wrote the original one that we brought to you.
right.
And then when you had your public hearing and Doug requested, because of the grandfathered, and the reason for passing the zoning ordinance back in 77 was for these smaller lots, it then went back to Natalie again.
The argument will be, and there will have to be some sort of a test, but because Doug's real issue with it, and I don't mean to speak for him, but at least my perception of that was, if someone had a non-conforming lot, an undersized lot, and because of some legal changes, the lot line changed or whatnot, and so the original non-conforming lot changed with deeds, his belief is it's still a non-conforming lot, which goes back to 77. I don't know if I would agree with that or not.
No,
I
it's
think
a
that's
whole
gonna be
new-
tested by a court. But
'Cause-
that was really his argument at that point, and I think he used, Lake, West Shore,
It's a good-
where they cleaned off all of the gravel and they
Oh, yeah.
dropped the
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing
Yeah.
down, and some of those people had to change their
Mm.
lot lines because the contours were wrong now, and so one person, who was the last person to try to do something, couldn't do it because he now had a conforming lot. It wasn't non-conforming anymore, and by the definition, but anyway, I just thought that,
Wow, good point.
from my perspective, I don't know how the other four on the board felt, but from my perspective, you've already gone through one zoning change which you allowed and changed the setback requirements, right, which was, you created a new zone,
Mhm.
right? I thought that was just real clean. It's either you can make it in this lined out area, which is 10 feet within,
Right.
what, 10 or 15 or whatever the number is, or you can't. Now, I guess we're back to the ZBA ultimately will make the determination, and it's gonna be based on, the criteria so I don't know that was
Right.
just my opinion, Wayne.
I get it,
You
yeah.
can have a ZBA guy come, he's gonna tell you, this is what we can do. This, or that.
By
And if
state
that
law.
doesn't meet that, then we can't grant a variance.
All right, I
To
just
me,
said,
if we do this, it's just totally getting rid of 2.08.
Right.
I mean, it's gone. It's just
You'd have
like
to explain
any
a
other,
hardship.
but it's just like any other lot.
Yeah, but then now you gotta say that, is it a hardship or isn't it a hardship? And I mean, I don't even know how many, let's face it, we've been how many years since '77?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that, you know, those will keep coming out of the woodwork over time, but I just thought it was cleaner that way, but and I guess we did hear that Natalie was really the one that, but that could have been the way we asked the question.
The issue with most of the setback that the planning board now hears is in shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we issue stuff against DEP regulations. Mike Morris from DEP, who's in charge of shoreline, told Gary and I 5 years ago, DEP came this close to suing the town for its shoreline regulations.
Waterboro?
Waterboro. So that tells me that there's been a lot of stuff going on in Waterboro that doesn't comply with shoreline regulations of DEP. We don't have a shoreline map adopted by the town presently. We don't have a shoreline regulation adopted by the town presently.
What do we do in the absence, Glenn? We're just using we're sort of following DEP guideline?
By the seat of my pants. The 15% that is on the newest version is a requirement of DEP in shoreland. So
Okay,
All right.
it just made sense to carry that across the board. To me,
I guess my only question on that is if we have a lot of the area around the lake has got a 35-foot side setback.
yep.
So 15% only gives us they could reduce it to 30.75 feet from the sideline.
They're already closer than that.
It's going to reach a boiling point, no doubt. But
I think that boiling point's coming soon, just
Yeah.
judging by the amount of applicants that have come before us.
at some point, Waterboro's going to have to sit down and face the fact that it needs to comply with shoreline regulations. We have to start it sooner or later.
If you really go back to the genesis of this whole thing with 2.08, you know, the only zoning package in the state, according to not just Natalie and that firm, many firms that have represented the town of Waterboro, that is, now, we've never been challenged, but that doesn't mean that.
We won't be.
But it says right in the section that the planning board can issue the variance, right? I mean,
No.
even it boldly says variance.
Oh, and ours
Yeah,
is a
current-
reduction,
But in the current language, it calls it a variance.
which is totally illegal to an
Right,
MRSA.
so- And it says the planning board can do it, so that's really kind of what, so I hear Glenn, and maybe there's gonna
Well-
be, if you do it as I think you could do it as a fixed setbacks or a maximum setback, with the exception that it couldn't be done in the shoreline.
That's a good possibility.
Or you just bite the bullet and say it's only gonna be a percentage, and really, I think Judy is absolutely right, 2.08 goes away.
I mean, do we really have any non-conforming lots that aren't in the shoreland? I don't remember any coming.
There's some
Yeah.
village,
Is there? Okay.
there might be a village lot hanging around somewhere.
Lake Arrowhead is full of them.
Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
didn't we change
No,
that?
that's a different.
New zone there.
Yeah.
That
No,
didn't.
they follow Waterboro's ordinances
Yeah, they have to follow.
and Lake Arrowhead ordinances and South River Corridor
Yeah, but
Commission.
we
Yeah, but
changed the
the
zone.
change, you're right,
for-
the additional
for-
zone, which I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
just-
residential,
Village
yeah,
residential.
Yeah,
village
residential,
residential.
that changed it a bit, but.
So that makes a lot of them more conforming then. I mean, do we say although no more than 50% of the requirements within the shoreland zone, but then we don't have a map to define the shoreland zone?
The map we have has been sitting idle for some reason for 5 years. I just recently had Sebago Tech in here, and Gary gave me authority. You know, when I told him what was going on, he says, we have to get this straightened out. So he said, Glenn, do what you have to do. So I had Sebago Tech in here, showed him the districts of the town. Mike Morris has been involved. Mike Morris is DP Shoreland. So Sebago Tech is working on a plan that's been sitting idle for 5 years. He's upgrading it. He's doing the overlays.
It'd be on GIS.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now, this new DEP shoreline regulation that came out January 26th, I'm in the process of writing Waterboro's shoreline regulation to coincide with this new chapter 1000, which then has to coincide with the new shoreline map.
Okay.
It'll take me
Oh, what a
months.
tangle web we
We'd like to get our money's worth out of
Well,
it.
maybe it's time for 2.08 to go away. It's been a long time. And that paper you gave us tonight that said you can't make a lot more non-conforming than it is.
That's been a standing law
that's state
for
law, right?
50 years.
So maybe it's time, I don't
The
know.
argument would be that, well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can because we have the authority.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Past
But
practice.
Like I said, if you get somebody that challenges that just once, and that goes away.
Mm.
When's the public hearing for this?
May 6th. I need to know tonight, though, if I need to cancel
I'll
it.
go with the recommendation of the board.
I mean, I think we move to planning, we move to a public hearing. We
I
hear
agree.
I
the,
think
we
we
hear
ought
it
to
at
put
public,
that to a public hearing, yes.
we hear it at public hearing, we can make notes, we're not forwarding it to the selectmen until after we hear public hearing.
And you can still
Make changes.
subtly change it, right, without.
Yeah.
If it's substantially changed, you can go back to the
The,
public hearing, but.
the planning board has got to understand this 100% at the public hearing. With the experience of the highway ordinance, I wasn't allowed to speak, and by the time I realized I could speak, I had left. So I'm assuming that I may not be allowed to speak this time because I'm not a resident, so you guys need to know inside and out.
Actually, you can if you get solid 2/3 vote of the people, you can't speak.
But the planning board public hearing,
We've always,
Whoa, what are you saying, man?
no, we've always,
it's gonna be a public hearing by the planning board.
right.
It's not a board of selectmen.
Yeah, so we've always had,
Okay.
we've
Oh, I
always
gotcha.
had town,
I understand.
we've always had,
We will ultimately have to have a public hearing.
Right.
For the board.
Yep.
Before we adopt it or reject it or whatever, but.
yeah, before a decision's made by the selectmen. So I mean, I think Glenn and I, we've always had the involvement of, of the code enforcement officer when they've been willing to speak. So I mean, it's, and I have,
I asked for your input last night. I could see somebody out of the corner of my eye, I thought it was you, right? Because I knew you were sitting there.
Yep.
And it was like, he's gone.
I mean, I think there's going to be points of it if it's not a clear, judging by last night's public hearing, there'll be comments that may be a little bit off subject. I'll take care of those to direct those
Okay.
back onto subject. But there may also be very specific questions that are beyond our purview.
Yep,
You have the expertise on
absolutely.
that, and in those cases, I would defer to you
Absolutely.
to answer that.
Yep, I'll be ready.
Okay. Is everybody?
Yep.
Katie, Judy.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So
So Tammy's instructions are,
to proceed with posting the newly revised 208, so we can go to public hearing.
It'll be in the newspaper next Friday.
Why don't we just repeal 208?
well, it's not that easy.
Oh, okay.
You
No.
need something to adopt. So, we
Yeah,
don't
but
have
if you
anything to fill
repealed it,
its
it
place.
would have to automatically go
To the-
to the zoning board of appeals, would it not?
Yeah, the argument will be that you virtually take the rights away from all of those landowners that have substandard lots.
I know that. I know
If it-
it's coming,
That
yeah.
would be the argument, so.
Yeah.
And the interesting is, if you read MRSA, if the person knowingly bought that as a non-conforming lot, it ends the discussion right there. They have no rights beyond that. So I mean, we're gonna have a lot of people coming in saying, "I didn't know it was non-conforming." So
Now, with this shoreline thing, do we need a new zone for a shoreline?
no, it's an overlay.
It's an overlay.
Okay.
But that has to be enacted by the planning board, right?
Well,
Well, it's a
once the ordinance the draft ordinance is written, like the highway ordinance, it goes with the planning board. The planning board makes their recommendations, either adopted or not adopted with changes, public hearing. The selectmen have their own public hearing,
modifications approval to the
Right.
selectmen then hold it, and then
and then it's a town vote, it's not a vote of the select
I
board.
think that's one that has to go to the town.
Right, has to go
yeah,
to
that has to
town.
be a town meeting.
So, we're looking at a possible special town meeting for this. I mean, we're out of compliance right now, so I wouldn't recommend waiting until June 2016.
16.
So, DEP knows we're working on this, so they're gonna be on me, asking me, Glenn, how's it going down there? Fine, Mike, just fine.
Say,
It's
show some
going.
patience, Mike.
You've been working with it for 30 years. We're moving fast. Is there anything, Tom, Glenn, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm done. Tom?
Let's see. There's an very important meeting, which I've alerted the planning board to by email. Next Wednesday,
With the EDC?
the EDC has
Economic Development.
Economic Development Committee has invited in the Water District and the Board of Selectmen to attend an important meeting to discuss the future of water infrastructure in the community. And I think it was this afternoon that I sent you a copy of some suggestible questions to kind of get them jump-started.
The last question you had on that, I think, was actually a really good question. So, I mean, where is this going? What's future development looking like? So.
Yeah, at this point, it's really difficult when developers come into the community and they may be just 1,000 feet off of public water. They need some sort of plan to see where extensions might be.
Well, they may be on the public water and we're gonna get an answer of, we don't have enough to support you.
Exactly. With 8-inch, see, one of the dilemmas that we've discovered with 8-inch lines, basically in your service center, you know, the given standard now is 12 to 18-inch.
Yeah.
You know, so if we have extensions at 12, where are they going? Where are the new standpipes or test wells going? There's a whole variety of things. We don't want to run ourselves into the situation when we start doing our periphery mappings of the zoning wellhead areas that it impacts major key commercial development land.
Speaking of wellhead protection, this
Yeah,
approval that you made tonight, is this guy in the wellhead?
No.
No.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, really close. It goes right through the middle, right there. That's an
Really
exit.
close. It's on the other 14.
It's
over 14.
But I mean, to bring up a conversation Frank Allen had when he was on the board, there's still no formal agreement between the water district and the town, correct?
Nor does there have to be, because the water district was created by the legislature.
So they're a private entity then.
Correct.
They're a private entity.
Private entity, our taxes
Quasi-municipal is
support a
the legal
third of
term.
it.
Quasi-municipal, okay.
Our taxes support it because the PUC, and there is a law, Mr. Representative, there is a law that says that if you use that system for fire protection, that you are responsible for 1/3 of the operational cost of that system. If you don't use it for water protection, I mean, I guess you could tell them to put a hood on all of the fire, and Glenn knows well, because he's involved in the water district over in Alfred, but.
Alfred tried to do that, and it almost went to court. Alfred lost.
Yeah, I think
Oh, they tried pulling out of the fire hydrant
Yeah.
end of it?
Run around with a bunch of tank trucks?
The insurance company stepped in,
Ah.
and homeowners insurance company stepped in, and the PUC stepped
ISO
in.
ratings change. and all
Yeah.
that.
It was a mess.
So
All right.
I'd encourage the planning board to take a look at the questions that I've drafted for EDC and to add additional questions to it. I believe that the superintendent and hopefully all of the directors or trustees will be here. My opinion, you're at the town's at a very, very dangerous place in terms of water supply and water service, given that your current wellheads, I think your largest wellhead's only kicking off 75 GPM.
Right.
Oh, my Lord.
And that's, to me, that's
That's
at a danger level.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question we've come up with over the years is, you know, as wellhead protection zones, where's the next aquifer that they're going to tap? And that's going to change.
It's going to affect your whole economic development picture. In fact, that's the reason that we've encouraged the committee to sit down and have a conversation with the water district. Also, the water district recently, in the last 6 months, has commissioned a study. I believe Sebago Technics was working on that study as to looking ahead for the next 5 to 10 years. So hopefully we'll have some sort of forecast as to where those wellheads and storage areas are going to be.
I mean, historically, we've always got an answer of I don't know, but I hope.
They had a couple picked out.
But they wouldn't confirm nor deny.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's-
and the real dilemma is, as the town moves forward with changing or modifying zoning because of the comprehensive plan of the 2020 committee, you know,
Where's our centers?
where does that, you know, are we in conflict?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, then you're probably automatically in conflict.
Right.
Part of this is preventative medicine, so that when you take your zoning structure of your existing zones in the town, and then you overlay where the next wellhead protection district's going to be, it's going to be very revealing. And Dennis and I went through that whole experience on the last wellhead protection ordinance, and how we discovered, geez, we're losing some really premium Route 202.
Route corridor, we're right down 202, yeah.
So, critical meeting, and hopefully the first of a series of meetings. Hope that some of you can probably make it. It starts at 5 o'clock.
Do you know what day of the week that is, the 22nd?
I believe it's a Wednesday.
A Thursday?
April 22nd, it's a Wednesday.
I'll be able to make that. Cool.
Yep, it is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, yeah, what's April?
April. It is a Wednesday.
Yeah, we probably should go to May up there. Tom, anything else?
There'll also be a series of public workshops. The 2020 committee is bringing closure to all of its work, and they are tentatively scheduled for, and will be announced very shortly, for May 13th and May 16th. One's on a Wednesday, the other's on a Saturday morning. The Saturday morning will be at the Grange.
Yeah.
The May 13th meeting will be over at the Central Fire Station.
Okay. And that's open to the public?
You said May
Absolutely,
13th?
yeah.
Yeah, May 13th, May 16th. And then your last day,
My last official day will be the 24th of June.
I
So
hate to see you go, Tom.
Well,
I understand.
I've enjoyed working for the community. I've particularly enjoyed working for the planning board and the 2020 master planning committee. But it's now time to reach out for those additional dreams that I've had, and free up some time more time for consulting. So I'm going to. I haven't shared this with too many. Everybody hears that I'm going off. I'm going to fish for my career. Well, some of it I will. I'm going to reactivate my guides business, which I started in 1983. And so I'll be doing some very selective fishing here and in Canada and some in Russia. And in addition to that, I'm going to be very involved with setting up a couple of philanthropic foundations and doing a lot more philanthropy work, which is where my real heart is.
Good for you.
And to support all of this, I'll be doing some consulting. Probably out in Winnipesaukee, you know. So if you have any tough cases you want defended on up there, give me a call.
New Hampshire's a little bit different than Maine.
Oh, it sure is.
It's very defined what you can do.
And lastly, just in closing, for the newer board members, just to kind of bring you in the full loop of some projects that we've done prior to Tammy and Glenn coming on board, I'd be happy to take 3 or 4 hours and kind of just talk about some of those projects that may resurface again. There's a really number of grandfathered projects that were approved over the last 10 years that are just sleeping out there. And so that's something that I'd like to particularly, share with Lee and Katie, just to kind of bring you forward on some projects that may resurface before your board and may be recycled into a different type of project.
That's something we need to talk about too. Is we need to grandfather. We need to twilight.
Yeah, one of the things the board will really want to consider is setting sunset clauses. You've got some
Sunset, I'm sorry.
some subdivisions that are out there that are 10, 15, 20 years old that have turned over 3 cycles of investors. And so each investor has a different notion of what they think they're going to do with the property. Perfect opportunity on some of those grandfathered, non-built subdivisions to look at, is there an opportunity either with the land trust? There looks to be a couple opportunities, as there was with the Carpenter Estates, should it be land that might be suitable with the land trust? That's one approach. The other approach is to look at some new types of zoning on some of these larger tracts that are still undeveloped. perfect opportunity for transfer of development rights and some creative type of techniques that might serve the town well.
Okay. Dennis, are you our new man?
Yeah, because the old man is gone.
I'd like to introduce Dennis Abbott. It's our appointee from the Board of Selectmen to the Planning Board. That's a key position because it actually creates a liaison, so we can keep a line of communication between us and the Selectmen. And I appreciate you coming to the meetings.
We'll try to get here as often as I can.
Diane, do you have anything?
No, I was just here because I had a couple of clients here tonight, decided to stay.
Okay, I have Glenn said, Tammy?
You haven't done the minutes yet.
Oh, geez. We have minutes from April 1st. There we go. I was not at that, so. I was regretfully detained.
This guy's flying around in a jet, private jet.
How was that?
It was unbelievable.
Nice.
It was
Detained,
unbelievable.
he says. No, I get detained.
Hey, Diane.
She heard you.
Okay. Do you have 2 minutes afterwards? Just afterwards? Okay. April 1st, is anybody, as written?
Yeah.
Motion to accept, is there a second? Second? Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0, I mean, with one abstention. Okay. Oh, motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second, is there any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.